guys, welcome. I'm Parshvika. Welcome to the channel where we talk a lot about me, money online as a creative person, as an artist. Today is a Zazzle designer video. I'm gonna help you guys design really good quality fonts if you're actually catering to the font-based design, like text-based design, or even if you're not catering to text-based design, you're gonna have some kind of the text in your design because Zazzle, guess what, it's a template-based product. So I'm gonna show you few amazing tools in the Zazzle designer dashboard that Zazzle launched, I think, quite a few weeks back, and they are really game changers. So let's dive in. Before that, guys, I have a lot of the Zazzle products to help you make more money. The Zazzle course, workbook, guide, ebook, planner, all sorts of resources are there. The links are in description that help me to become a Zazzle Pro seller and continually making money every single month from my Zazzle shop. So if you're interested, the links of these products are in description. Make sure you check it out. Anyways, so we are on the Zazzle right now, and I'm not gonna sign in on the Zazzle. I'm just looking at the popular birthday cups. Okay, you can take a look at that. But we're gonna go over to the option create products because we're gonna go actually into the section of designer dashboard. Now I'm not gonna sign in. Please guys, make sure you sign in into your account before designing any product, because if you didn't sign in, then your design will be lost. Now since I'm doing a tutorial, so I'm not gonna sign in. So let's do this thing. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna design some electronics this time. This technique can be applicable to any kind of product. So to the product, the options comes add your design. Okay, now stuff over here that it's really game changer. Now this is a electronic bag, especially catering to the laptop bag, so it doesn't have the 2 layers, it only has 1 layers. So we are only working here with the 1 layer. So if you are designing a product with a multiple layers, the same thing applicable. So let's go to the section add text. So for example, I'm adding a text over here, the name as Sophia. Okay, I right type the Sophia, and then I have a lot of the different fonts over here. Now you can pick up any fonts. I'm gonna pick up this font for the sake of this video. You can change the color. Okay, I'm gonna increase the font because I want it to be a little bit bigger. Let's see how it's gonna look like a little bit more. Recently launched is about the text stroke and drop shadow. Drop shadow and text stroke are the options for the text that makes wonders if you do it in the right way in your design, and that's going to take your designing to the next level, and not many designers are utilizing it, and it's a new feature I'm going to talk about. So we're going to use a drop shadow. Now drop shadow, it's great that you have a shadow directions and you have the shadow offset. Now you can decide the direction, how it's gonna go, 155 degree or 132 degree, you see the difference, right? Or you can use the shadow offset and you can play around with that and which one fits best. Now since it's a white background, like there's nothing else going around in the background, I think I'm gonna keep the background as black, because if I keep it black, it's gonna be more visible, and make this text as white. Okay, and then we're gonna play with this drop shadow. Yeah, so I'm gonna change the color of the drop shadow to something, we gotta keep it light because we are working with the black background over here. So what if I use this one? But since this is white, and so we gotta go play around with the different colors. So you can use one shade of the different colors. Sorry, you can use the different shades of the one color, or you can use the one shade of the different color. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to tell you. So for example, I think I'm gonna keep the text color as this, and then I'm gonna play around with the drop shadow color. So you can see which color fits best. So if I pick up the white, now it isn't that clearly visible because our font is pretty much off the hook. So we gotta find something that's gonna work out. So let's see if I use some other color, how it's gonna look like. So you can see the pink with the gray, or if I use this color. So you see that you can create a different stuff over here. Again, I'm gonna play with the color of the text, and let me do this one. This is very dark color, not exactly black but still dark, so I'm gonna choose the color of the drop shadow as light. Let me choose this one. So if I click over to the done, okay, I gotta sign into the account, otherwise I'm gonna lose this design. But you can see it's not that clear, so we gotta play around a little bit more. So if I keep it I think I'm gonna keep this one as this color. Okay, this is a text color, and for the shadow color we're gonna play around with maybe the yellow. Let's see how the yellow gonna look like. Wow, this looks amazing, right? And shadow direction, you can play with this shadow direction, or I think and then you play around with the shadow offset, like how do you exactly want. You can play around with that. Then another feature that I want to talk about is all about the text stroke. This is another thing. So if you want to create neon fonts, like you look at the banners especially in the DJs or at the night, they have the banners or the lights where like LED lights have a neon lights and they are very like popping up. You can create that kind of designs using these features over here. So stroke color, we gotta change the color here. So probably I go with this one. Let's see how it's gonna look like. You see how it's going. This is not working, so we gotta choose. What if I choose a dark color? No. Okay, we gotta choose this one, but then we gotta decrease the thickness of the stroke. So you see how it's actually popping up over here, even if I decrease a little bit more. So this is the color of the stroke. Now the stroke color can be very light. If you want to especially create the neon, you can keep it very, very light, and then you can increase the stroke thickness, but you gotta play around with the text color. So if you're playing around with the text color, so for example, I choose the gray color, so I gotta choose the yellow here. Okay, for some reason, I don't know, okay, maybe later. For some reason, okay, sometimes they don't work that well. Okay, I choose the yellow color as the text color. Okay, I'm just playing around, guys, and show you how exactly you can do that. Now stroke color has to be dark. So what I can do is I choose the text color as dark. So let's go with the text color as this one. Okay, and then the stroke color we choose the light. You gotta play around with this and see how it works. Okay, wow, this goes interesting, right? And then you choose the shadow color, or you choose the shadow color as the light and stroke color as the dark. So if I choose this, okay, now both of them are light, so it's not visible, and I choose this one as this. So you see, we can create so many different varieties of fonts, so many varieties of different text-based design using these tools. You can play around with the different colors here, different strokes here. So probably like we use the text as this color, and if I use a stroke color as I think stroke color is appropriate here, or maybe I decrease the stroke thickness. Yep, that makes sense. Yes. So you see how this design is looking. We created a beautiful text-based design using the text stroke and drop shadow, and you can play around. You can do it with different ways, different angles, different backgrounds. Simple text-based design, but still it's at the next level. You can see how beautiful is this one looking. So let me know if this video is helpful. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning this video. See you the next time. Bye bye.